Welcome to Live with Ms. Steph. Hi, I'm Ms. Steph. I am the founder and executive director of Triple F Empowerment Inc. We operate Ms. Steph Science Club. I am a former laboratory scientist and now turned nonprofit founder. We have a program that mitigates the issues that are seen when children don't receive regular, not only whether or not it's quality or not, but if they don't receive regular hands-on science instruction. And so that's one of the things that Ms. Steph Science Club does, is we man the gap. So mind the gap. So I am glad to be with you today, Monday, March 10th, to give you your Science Club news and to do our activity. Do you know that there are people who don't know how to make Oobleck? Well, guess what? I am going to make some for you. The most basic Oobleck recipe. I'm going to make that for you and show you some tips and tricks about like how to know whether it's done, because that's one of the things. Similar to slime, there's different challenges with that. I'll talk to you about figuring out whether it's done, and then also just talk to you about how to pass it out to your students and some just tricks with that. All right. That being said, let's get into our news. As I said, today is Monday, March 10th, and our next Saturday Science Club session will be this coming Saturday, March 15th. That is the last Saturday Science Club of March, because again, we meet on first, second, and third Saturdays, barring holidays or any kind of year-end activities that we're going to be doing. In this video, hi, thank you so what? Hey, hi, thank you so much for watching Live with Ms. Steph. Michelle, it's lovely to have you on with us. So yes, I'm on live chit-chatting and letting folks know about the Ms. Steph Science Club news of the week. As I was sharing, we have Saturday Science Club this coming Saturday, March 15th from 12 to 2 p.m. And again, it's first, second, thank you so much for watching, first, second, and third Saturdays. This month actually happens to be the last time we will do a third Saturday because there's the Easter holiday coming up in April. And so there's a break actually for public schools the weekend of the third weekend of April. And then in May, on the third weekend, we are going to be doing a little in the park celebration. We'll be doing science in the park. The volunteers and I had a lovely meeting this past Saturday. And so we've made a decision on what we're going to be doing for May 17th. And that will be the third Saturday in May. Once again, we're meeting this Saturday, March 15th. For our Saturday Science Club. Saturday Science Club is free for participants. Yes, it does cost us money to run it, but as a nonprofit, that's one of the services that we provide for free. Program is for children ages 5 to 10. Saturday Science Club is to be able to be dropped off. Your child must be between the ages of 5 and 10. Can they bring a snack? Can you stay as a parent? All those questions are fantastic questions. And guess what? I answered those questions in a frequently asked video that now has been published, and it is up on my YouTube channel, Ms. Steph on YouTube. Check it out. And there's going to be some clips throughout the week. Other important things for Science Club. Summer Science Club registration is open, people. Open Summer Science Club registration. We are going to be running Summer Science Club from July 7th to August 8th. 5 weeks of fantastic STEAM engagement education. Your child will receive the equivalent, if you decide to send them for all 5 weeks, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30, your child will receive the equivalent of a year and a half's worth. Yes, I said it, and I say it emphatically. That is absolutely true. I've done the calculations and all that type of stuff. A year and a half's worth of elementary school science during those 5 weeks, because we do so much hands-on activities, so many hands-on activities that it's essentially well over a year's worth of science education that the children receive. One of the questions that I get all the time, folks are always like, well, Ms. Steph, what do you do for kids that have come? Well, guess what? We differentiate. We make things fun and exciting for them. We do change the activities on an annual basis. I do keep the stuff that the kids love. Of course, we'll be doing Oobleck, one of the activities, one of the things I'm going to show you today, of course, Oobleck, and we do make slime at least once, but there are always variations on it. Last summer we did some exploding slime. We made regular slime and we made exploding/erupting slime. We always do things where we go to the park. Field trips are included. The one thing that we do not include, we include supplies. We include a lab notebook for them. We include personal sets of markers, crayons, pencils, okay? We include a t-shirt. We include the field trip admission and the field trip transportation. The only thing that we do not include is lunch, okay? So you do need to send your child with a packed lunch, okay? That is a very important, frequently asked question for Summer Science Club. Once again, that's going to be running from July 7th through August 8th, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. If you would like to register your child for that outstanding program that will be running on 134th and 8th Avenue this summer 2025, definitely reach out to me. You can email me at mssteph@tfempowerment.org, or you can just simply send me a DM that says summer camp. Okay, so would be super happy to have your young person join us for that program. That program is not free. It is $425, and this is after, I repeat, after, just for clarity, for those of you wondering how we come up with the pricing and what that pricing entails. I've already said what it includes. It includes a lot of stuff. It includes the whole entire experience. But the price, the portion that we ask parents to cover is the $425 per week. Yes, per week. That, by the way, is 25 on average, 25 to 35% less a week compared to other STEAM or STEM programs here in New York City. How do we do that? We fundraise the GAP. This goes back into the GAP conversation. The actual cost to our organization is $700 per child per week. And we invite parents to partner with us at $425, and then we raise the rest. For those of you who are our long-term donors, you already know how much you are appreciated. And I say this now, some of you have already started to put in your contributions, and we have several folks who special shout out right now to our monthly giving squad. Those of you who donate on a monthly basis to keep everything running, not just the lights on. The lights on is kind of like a survival kind of mindset, but you help us do the thing, right? And so I'm super appreciative of you all. And yes, your support helps us do all the things that we do. And in particular, in the summer months, your monthly contribution helps mind that gap of $275 per child per week, right? And for those of you who would like more information about how to participate in camp, please send me a message. I will absolutely answer your question in public, just so that people kind of know. So I won't call your name, just to make sure that I don't make anybody feel uncomfortable. But I also will email you back. Like, the parents can tell you, I send an email, they ask me a question, because there's a section on the registration form, which again is a Google form and is available now. Register now. It's March already, y'all. I know it seems like there's a while. I know it feels like you have a bit of time. I'm telling you now, all camps, okay? All of us who know where we're going to be for the summer and all that type of stuff, all of us are already doing registration. I started seeing, hi, thank you so much for watching. Hey, we've got a lot of like folks from Blast from the Past that are on today. Thank you so much for watching Live with Ms. Steph. I'm giving my weekly Science Club news, and we're talking a bit about right now, specifically talking about frequently asked questions concerning, hello, Eileen. So lovely to see you on the interwebs. And so please, and you know who to say hi to for me. Hi. I don't want to call her name because I don't want to, I want to respect privacy. But please give my greetings to your awesome, beautiful daughter. Yes, so getting ready for Summer Science Club 2025. Registration is open, as I've said, and all those types of things. And for those of you wondering about just the process of the deposit and registration, get in now. Because like I was about to say before we had our fantastic person join us, I have been seeing registration start for some organizations started doing registration in January, right? And also early bird registration for our program for Ms. Steph Science Club will end on March 15th, meaning the deposit, the $50 per week deposit will not be included in your weekly fee. It will be in addition to. If you have more questions about that, send me a DM or send me an email to mssteph@tfempowerment.org. So yes, let's hop right into our activity. Oobleck. The fun thing about Oobleck, I mean, all the activities are fun and it's science, and of course it's fun, no matter what, in my opinion. But one of the fun things about Oobleck, and I think I'm going to use this piece. Okay. One of the fun things about Oobleck is that you can teach your students so many concepts, right? And yes, this container is not like the cleanest because it doesn't have to be, because I used it specifically for Oobleck just barely an hour ago. Because I have my littles that I have on Monday morning. I like Oobleck because it only takes 2 ingredients. It only takes 2 chemicals. You want straight out of the box cornstarch and some water. No, for those of you who are just now joining me and are just now learning me, this is not, 1, this video is not sponsored, and 2, the water on this label is actually not the water that's in here. It is regular tap water. Getting into the tips and tricks for Oobleck, you want to make sure that you've got fresh cornstarch. You know how I said one of my tips for when we're doing plants and all that type of stuff is to have fresh seeds that you've just bought this season? You want freshly opened cornstarch, because cornstarch naturally absorbs moisture from the environment, from the surrounding environment. And so it's kind of hard to make sure that you have the right ratios. Hi, thank you so much for watching Live with Ms. Steph, Academic Mom. Hi, shout out to you for joining us today. Go back and watch the rest of the video when I do the upload to get information about Summer Science Club and Saturday Science Club. Right now, I'm going into our weekly activity. So yeah, I'm just making some Oobleck. Why am I making Oobleck? 1, I promised several of my brilliant students and the teachers. Remember, I always tell you that we have a great time with my fellow educators when I go into my different schools and after schools and early childhood centers, right? And one of them, actually 2 of them, I promised that we would do Oobleck. And so I have made that, I made good on my promise to those 2 people over the last couple of days. Oh, wow, I've already got this on me. All right, so you see how like it's right now, it's just getting everywhere. I'm doing this on purpose, kind of. The Oobleck, hi! Thank you so much for watching Live with Ms. Steph. Folks, we've got a bunch of people that are on live today. So appreciative. Bunch of folks that have stopped by. Because folks have shared with me, Ms. Steph, I'm at work. I understand. watch me on the replay, but anytime you drop in, I really appreciate it. So hello, Adrian. Thank you so much for watching. This could be a great project for you to do with your group of folks, Adrian, because it's so simple, and you can do this. It's not edible, but it's also like it doesn't have anything in it to where if any of the kids accidentally got it in their mouths, you wouldn't have any safety concerns, right? So this would be a great activity that you could do with your mom's group. So we're going to do cornstarch, any brand, just as long as you buy it fresh, okay? And you can get it from anywhere. Do not get anything, special and pay a bunch of money for it, but cornstarch, any brand. I like to use a beaker. Now, for my science educators, I know I'm speaking to a broad audience, and that's lovely, okay? But for my science educators, I particularly like doing this in the beaker. I order my beakers online, and you can get a set of 5 beakers, and then they also come with some graduated cylinders for relatively reasonable cost. I know we've got a whole inflation situation going on, but I only paid $10 per set, and that was 10 total, like 5 graduated cylinders. Hi, thank you so much for watching Live with Miss Steph. Isabel Grace, come on in. So 5 beakers and 5 what are those things? Graduated cylinders. But like I said, for my science educators especially, I like showing the children, exposing them right to the beaker and saying, hey, this is a beaker. Sometimes I say, oh, it's got a beak looking thing, and also for the very young children. But this is a great way to start introducing measurement, right? And highlighting the M in STEAM. This activity really does all of the letters. I know, excuse me, I've got cornstarch all over me. Y'all are going to have to not only forgive me, but just go that this is what it is. It's one of the activities that looks super messy, so that also kind of adds to the fun for the kids. But in the end, all you got to do is just kind of like shake out the clothes, and they don't look so much as much of a mess as when they get ready to go home. Hi. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your kind comment. So once again, beaker, I am going to add less water than I think I need. I make this on a regular basis, so this is why I'm eyeballing it. That being said, for those of you wanting measurements, and then if you have older students and you want them to do, say, this in groups, because we all know, anybody who teaches elementary school knows that working in a group is one of the standards, right? And so this is a very safe activity to do because even if it starts to kind of get everywhere, the likelihood that children can be like harmed by it kind of becoming a mess is very low. So this is a great one for them to do, upper elementary school children to do on their own, and mix and give them the instructions. So that being said, you want 2 parts cornstarch and slightly less than 1 part water. Again, this is not the water that's as advertised on the container. I just like these bottles. For those of you doing any activities like me to where you have to like carry your materials with you somewhere, those bottles are fierce, okay? Remember, Oobleck, remember I said, I promised that I was going to give you the tips and tricks concerning the Oobleck, how you're supposed to know that it's done. That's one of the major things, just like slime or anything like that. How do you know it's done, okay? And how do you clean it up, all that type of stuff. And since my content is mainly for other educators and like folks that just want to try STEAM activities with young people, I will go into that. So if you can see, if you look closely, most of the water is at the top. Towards the bottom, in real life, you can tell, okay, if you look closely, that most of this is still the powder. That is going to be stirred in. When you start to stir, it should be difficult to stir, okay? That's one of the ways to know that you're close to making Oobleck. If it's easy to stir and it feels like you're just stirring some milk, you don't have enough of the solid component, which is what? Our powder is our cornstarch. You see how it's kind of pouring pretty thick? right? One of the educators that I was interacting with today was like, it kind of looks like you're pouring glue. Oh, fantastic. Congratulations. Love to hear that we've got a STEAM person on the way. Isabella says that she's getting her bachelor's in chemistry. Love it. Okay. And kind of to speak to your level, because this activity can be done with folks of all levels, and everybody of all ages can learn something from doing this. Right? And so we know Newtonian behaviors of solids, liquids, and gas. And the idea behind this activity and why science teachers do this activity is because this behaves as a non-Newtonian fluid. When you put more pressure on it, we know that the more pressure you put on a regular liquid, it should behave more like a liquid. But this actually, when you push on this substance, it's one of the ways to know that it's done. Okay, when you push on this substance, I'm adding more of the powder. Because remember, I told you, if you stir it and it feels like liquid, it's not Oobleck. Okay? When you push on this substance, it should behave like a solid. It should be hard to stir, difficult to stir. You see kind of that fun ooziness that we're getting? That's Oobleck. Okay? Now, for my folks who are working with significantly younger children, one of the ways to make this more entertaining is to do what? Add my favorite material. For this particular thing, you know how I'm always telling you I have different preferences of food coloring for different projects. This project, any type of food coloring will work. You can use your dollar store stuff, right? You can use your the gel food coloring. You could even kind of test, and it is just cornstarch and water. Isn't that fantastic? This is any point in time when you're working with young people, and this is a suggestion for everyone who is caring for young people in various things. Okay, and that's why I like this activity, because unless they have a corn allergy, which though that seems like that may sound to you like it's uncommon, I have met a person with a corn allergy. Okay, and so that you want to be careful with that. It is significantly less common than, say, the peanut allergy and all those types of things, and it's as far as I know tends to be less severe of a reaction. But that being said, yes, this is just cornstarch and water. It's fantastic. But if you are wanting to try, right? So say you want to work with high schoolers and do this activity. Not only could you kind of try different ratios of the two main components, you could also try different types of pigmentation. Okay? All right. And it's difficult for me to stir, but I can still tell that it is not as difficult as I would like it to be, meaning it's not Oobleck. Okay? So I'm actually going to put one scoop at a time, because remember, I eyeballed it for you all, but I gave you the measurements. Thank you. Two parts. Okay, and again, educators, this is a great opportunity to teach measurements. This is a great measurement activity, and then let them kind of just play with it at the end, right? If you're wanting to do this. So for folks who work with very young children, mix it up, let them play with it, and let them explore, okay? The older the children you're working with, the more you can make kind of adjustments. Making homemade Play-Doh, yes. You know? So if we wanted this to be Play-Doh, FYI, you can take cornstarch and mix it with conditioner. And that makes a very, very quick Play-Doh. Okay. So you see how when it drips down, it's not dripping down like straight exactly. It's kind of going a little bit to the side. That lets you know that it's thick enough. Also, when I stir, I can feel resistance, enough resistance on it to tell that I've got enough of the powder in there. Okay, I'm stirring it up. Other modifications that you can do, for those of you who've been watching me for a while, you know that shaving cream entertains me, right? And so one of the things that I shared with one of my fellow educators this morning when I was at something, I always like to give this particular person suggestions, things she can do with her own child at home, her the grandbaby who's a little bit older than the children that we have in that classroom, right? So the twos, you know, make it up and then let them play with it and explore and have an exciting interaction with it. But the older children, other things that you can do is make some and then take different portions and do one additive. So for example, add a little bit of shaving cream and then compare the plain and the shaving cream one, or add a little bit of baby oil and compare the baby oil and the shaving cream one. Those are all different exciting things. So see, all right, this is fantastic. Once again, you're on watching Live with Ms. Steph. I gave you your Science Club news. Earlier we did a little Q&A about Saturday Science Club. We do have Saturday Science Club for children ages 5 to 10 this coming Saturday at Wadley. Yes, that particular program is free of charge for children. We don't charge parents for that to engage in that particular service. And then Summer Science Club registration is open. There is a weekly fee for Summer Science Club, $4.25 a week, which by the way is on average 25 to 35% less than your average STEAM immersion experience that happens here in the city, run by, say, for-profit organizations. And as you know, we are a nonprofit. And so we actually fundraise to come up with the rest of the funds that it cost us to run that program. And you can reach out to me to see, now it looks like it's solid again already, right? You can reach out to me for more information. Okay, so look, isn't that amazing? Isn't that super fun to play with? Or you can pour it. For my fellow educators, that's another reason why I like the beaker, and the beaker with the handle. Not all beakers come with the handle. FYI, this is the 1 liter or the 1,000 milliliter beaker. And so you just pour it on a plate for the children and they can sit and play with it. And you can decide how thick you want to make it. Notice how when I touch it slowly, my finger kind of sinks in. But if I touch it quickly, right, my finger easily lifts off without a bunch of mess. You can even pour it directly into your hand. See how I pour it directly into my hand? And if you're just looking at it, it looks like it's a liquid. But if I do that, it behaves a bit more like a solid. It is super fun to play with. So yeah. That's it today for Live with Ms. Steph. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you continue to engage with us. On Mondays, you can watch me live on Instagram from at 12:35 on Mondays, and then I go live directly from YouTube around 4:35 on Thursdays. And I really encourage you to send in your questions. You can send me a DM to ask questions or to request an activity, right? So Isabel Grace, like, you shared that you like my content. Please feel free to ask for an activity, to say, can you please try this? And if I have the materials and it's not going to blow up my apartment, I most likely will say yes. So please, 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 please continue to engage with us. I really appreciate everybody that hopped on live. We had Michelle, Adrian, we had Academic Mom, we've got Isabel Grace today. Thank you so much for watching Live with Ms. Steph. and have an absolutely wonderful day.